The marble steps outside Manhattan's federal courthouse look like a premiere, only nobody's smiling. Inside, Sean Diddy Combs sits behind bulletproof glass, jaw clenched, while across the aisle Cassie Ventura, the woman he once called his muse, prepares to tell a jury how love turned into fear. Reporters whisper about something even wilder. The late Prince may have left behind high-definition footage of Diddy's wildest parties, footage prosecutors are quietly trying to unseal. If that purple tape exists, it could flatten more careers than Combs's. So how did a mogul and a musical genius end up in the same scandal? One from beyond the grave? Strap in. This story zigzags from velvet rope soirees to a federal court with a 97% conviction rate. Long before prosecutors typed racketeering into a charging document, Hollywood insiders swapped hush-hush stories about Diddy's invite-only raggers. Blogger-turned-media exec Jason Lee still laughs and cringes about his first time on the list. We pull up to Prince's mansion and security tells us, "Leave your bodyguards in the car." Inside, Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher were swinging, literally, on hanging seats while Tyrese crooned slow jams in the corner. High-profile guests mingled with influencers nobody recognized, and somewhere near the bar, Jason says he spotted unmarked vials he'd never seen at any A-list mixer. Why Prince allowed anyone, much less Diddy, to bring that circus into his private estate puzzled guests. The purple one was legendary for two obsessions: creative control and hidden cameras. Friends swear every corridor in his Los Angeles and Minneapolis properties fed into secure servers labeled only by date and room number. At Paisley Park, he stored decades of raw concert footage, rehearsal takes, and after-party angles inside a literal vault. So if Combs really turned Prince's living room into Freak-Off Central, odds are a lens caught it. Strangely, Prince almost never appeared at those parties himself. Attendees recall glimpsing the tip of a cane on the stairs or hearing a laugh from an upstairs balcony, then nothing. It felt less like a host greeting guests and more like a director monitoring a live set. To understand why Prince might stockpile compromising tapes, zoom back to his decades-long war with Warner Music. In the early 90s, Warner owned his masters and dictated his release schedule. Prince responded by renaming himself to an unpronounceable symbol, scrawling "slave" on his cheek, and refusing to cede a single inch of creative ground. He told reporters in 1999 that emancipating the name I was given at birth freed him from restrictive contracts. After finally clawing back ownership, Prince guarded leverage like oxygen. Rumor says he recorded every business meeting. When a visiting pop star once joked about leaking a demo, Prince calmly pointed to a camera above the door and said, "You already signed an NDA when you stepped inside." That mindset, keep indisputable proof in-house, explains why his security team insisted all third-party surveillance gear at events remain under his control. Meanwhile, Diddy took the opposite tack. In 2005 he inked a joint venture giving Warner a 50% stake in Bad Boy Records, praising the right financial structure to dominate global distribution. To Prince loyalists it was a Faustian pact. To Diddy it was a power play. Two titans, one label, and a chasm in philosophy wide enough to swallow an empire. Cassie Ventura met Combs at 19, fresh-faced and hoping for the kind of mentorship every new singer dreams about. 11 years later she was filing a civil suit alleging an underworld of control. Diddy allegedly demanded new hairstyles overnight, tracked her phone location, and forced her into drug-laced freak-offs with strangers. The couple's public timeline, red carpet kisses and yacht selfies, hid burned hard drives, broken phones and NDAs thicker than magazines. The mask shattered on March 5, 2016. Hotel cameras at LA's Intercontinental captured Diddy chasing Cassie down a hall, slamming her and kicking her. For 8 years the footage vanished, until CNN aired a 48-second supercut in 2024. Combs went from towel-wearing aggressor to Instagram penitent in 24 hours. "I'm disgusted with myself." Months later he scrubbed the apology and claimed CNN sped up, resequenced and doctored the clip, insisting the original 10-minute file was destroyed. A federal judge reviewed metadata and ruled the video admissible. Cassie's November 2023 civil suit settled in a single day, but her testimony migrated into the criminal case. On May 13, 2025 she sat in court and told jurors about being forced into humiliating acts, including sessions where party favors kept her awake for 48 hours. She described the Intercontinental night blow by blow, then confirmed rumors. Some private parties took place at a mansion owned by Prince, who rarely left the upstairs wing. The prosecution rested for the day with that bombshell floating above jurors' heads. Cassie's hallway tape might have lit the fuse, but Homeland Security investigations swung the sledgehammer. March 25, 2024, agents surrounded Combs's Miami and Los Angeles homes, weapons drawn, and wheeled out crates of hard drives, phones, and storage arrays. Search warrant affidavits, now unsealed, mentioned hundreds of digital files depicting non-consensual sexual conduct, and detailed ledger sheets of hush payments. Prosecutors indicted Combs on racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, transporting individuals to engage in illicit acts, witness intimidation, and obstruction. Each count carried up to 20 years. Combined, life was on the table. They filed in the Southern District of New York, home of a 97% conviction rate once a case reaches a jury. Former U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara bragged about similar stats in 2012. The percentage hasn't dipped in a decade. In bail hearings, prosecutors previewed freak-off tapes retrieved from seized servers, allegedly showing Combs directing assistants to prep hotel suites with baby oil and lubricant while drug cocktails changed hands. They argued his wealth financed a decades-long pipeline of victims too frightened to speak until video evidence surfaced. When jury selection began on May 5, 2025, potential jurors received a 17-page questionnaire plus a witness roster of roughly 190 names. Social feeds exploded. Some entries looked random: Robert Downey Jr., Lauren London, Michelle Williams. Others made twisted sense. Michael B. Jordan, referenced in Cassie's lawsuit for an alleged 2015 flirtation. Kid Cudi, claimed Diddy ordered his Porsche blown up after finding Cassie's emails. Harve Pierre, bad boy exec named in a Jane Doe suit alleging assault. Don Richard, ex-Donny Kane singer who once accused Combs of SA during MTV's Making the Band. Young Miami, alleged transporter of party supplies on payroll. Dallas Austin, childhood friend of Diddy's late partner Kim Porter. Gossip blogs whisper he knows why she really died. And then came the curveball, Prince Rogers Nelson. Court notes say his estate could be asked to authenticate monitoring equipment or archival footage related to private residences. Suddenly, internet sleuths were dusting off every rumor about Prince's vault and asking if the man who fought Warner to the grave also fought to keep blackmail on ice. Facing that tidal wave, Diddy's lawyers fired off paperwork. Motion in limine to toss the hallway video, denied. Motion to suppress all evidence from mansion raids, denied. A last-minute plea: Combs was too intoxicated to form criminal intent, pending. Meanwhile, the dream team cracked. In February 2025, veteran litigator Anthony Rico quit, citing irreconcilable conflict. Rumor says he balked at using the race card defense that prosecutors targeted Combs for being a successful black entrepreneur. Days later, powerhouse firm Grubman Shire dropped the mogul after clients, hello Lady Gaga, threatened to yank business. Celebrity fixer Mark Garagos agreed to advise on jury selection, but refused to sign retainer papers. To observers it looked like a house with lights on but no furniture inside. 4 days before his April 21, 2016 death, Prince hosted an impromptu set at Paisley Park and told fans, "Wait a few days before you waste any prayers." Sister Tyka Nelson later said he'd been preparing her for 2 years, dropping hints that his mission was almost complete. Clean living and famously anti-drug, Prince allegedly kept an emergency travel doctor on call, so the official ruling, accidental fentanyl OD, felt off to disciples. Fans pointed at everyone from pharmaceutical cartels to record label execs, noting Prince had just regained full control of his masters and was planning a memoir. Now add a fresh theory: Prince knew the risk of storing evidence that could vaporize powerful reputations. Some insiders claim he encrypted those party tapes and handed the key to 2 lawyers in separate states. Others insist he ghost-copied them to a protege who hasn't spoken publicly. Whatever the arrangement, federal subpoena power might pry it open. An AP source confirmed investigators have sent preliminary inquiries to Prince's estate counsel about guest monitoring systems covering 2008-2012. No subpoena yet, but the fuse is clearly lit. What if the purple tape surfaces? 3 scenarios. Scenario A: nuclear proof. The footage lands in court, unspooling hours of non-consensual acts with timestamps, faces, and audio. Jury deliberation becomes formality, Combs goes away for life, and every cameo guest becomes civil suit bait. Streaming platforms scramble to yank catalogs, brands purge ads. Scenario B: Schrodinger's tape. The video stays rumor, but jurors know it might exist. That lingering doubt, what else is he hiding? Tips borderline counts toward guilty. Diddy's lawyers cry foul, appellate courts shrug. Scenario C: defense goldmine. In a plot twist, Defense obtains tapes first and argues they show only consenting adults. They cherry-pick scenes of smiling guests, dispute drug claims and muddy waters. The argument won't erase the hallway assault, but it could seed reasonable doubt on trafficking counts. Each scenario leaves one constant. Prince, gone 9 years, still holds more cultural leverage than most living stars. Prince taught the world that true power means owning your narrative, and every master tape that proves it. Diddy mastered the art of spectacle but maybe forgot cameras are storytellers that never retire. If the purple tape exists, it's the ultimate crossover, a posthumous solo from the man in purple, blowing the lid off hip-hop's biggest trial. So what's your bet? Did Prince slip the key to a trusted confidant, and will the court force that vault open? Or will the legend of unseen footage stay myth while Diddy's fate hangs on testimony and the infamous hallway clip? Drop your hottest theory below, smash subscribe and keep alerts on. Because in this saga, the next witness might be a dusty hard drive, and it could make even a mogul's empire look small.